The much-awaited rematch, Isaac Pitbull Cruz vs. Gervonta Tank Davis. Few rivalries in the boxing world hold the same fascination for spectators as the one between Gervonta Tank Davis and Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Cruz presented one of the hardest tests of Cruz's career against Davis in their memorable first fight. The stage is now set for the eagerly awaited rematch, which is expected to have even more action, drama, and intensity. Retrospection, the initial meeting. When Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz squared off in December 2021, it was anticipated that Davis would win easily. Following the withdrawal of Davis's scheduled opponent, Rolando Romero, Cruz had stepped in on short notice. Cruz performed incredibly well, pushing Davis to the edge and winning all 12 rounds despite the odds. Davis won the bout by a razor-thin unanimous decision, receiving scores of 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113. Cruz immediately demonstrated his signature aggressive style, pushing forward and making Davis adjust. Despite hitting several of his signature strokes, Davis, who is renowned for his strength and accuracy, found Cruz to be a tough opponent. Davis shown his tenacity and commitment by fighting through a mid-fight injury to his left hand. The fallout and requests for a rematch. Davis ruled out a rematch with Cruz as soon as the bout ended, stating that he wanted to focus on other things. But Cruz gained a new following of supporters thanks to his courageous performance, and there were more requests for a rematch between the two combatants. Cruz has made no secret of his desire for a rematch and his belief that he can prevail this time. Both fighters have been advancing their careers in the months after their first battle. While Davis defeated Rolando Romero and faced Hector Luis Garcia, Cruz produced outstanding knockout wins over Eduardo Ramirez and Yuri Ortiz Gamboa. Given that both fighters have demonstrated they are at the peak of their games, these performances have only increased the excitement for a rematch. The path to a rematch and recent events. Davis has recently expressed a newfound desire to take on Cruz once more. He has made suggestions in interviews and social media posts that he is willing to face Cruz and any other opponents. He fulfilled his obligation. With reference to Cruz's previous performance and the fans' desire for a follow-up, Davis stated, "We can definitely get a rematch, hopefully sooner rather than later." Cruz, though, has persisted in calling Davis out and proclaiming his excitement to return to the ring. "I would be delighted to take on Gervonta Davis. This time, I owe him a decisive victory. We will both be well-trained and at the top of our game." Cruz said, "I want it as soon as possible," making it apparent that he is up for the job. Davis has stated that he would be interested in competing against Cruz as well as Vasyl Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson, two of the top lightweights. This illustrates Davis's desire to challenge everyone and establish himself as the best boxer in the division. The allure of a Cruz vs. Davis rematch. A rematch between Cruz and Davis is highly desirable for a number of reasons. First of all, spectators were glued to their seats during their exciting first bout. A lot of fans are left wanting more because of how close the fight was and Cruz's outstanding performance as the underdog. Second, since their initial meeting, both boxers have matured and improved. While Cruz has shown his knockout ability and will to advance, Davis has persisted in dominating his opponents with his strength and talent. A rematch would give fans a chance to witness the progress made by these two fighters and determine whether Cruz can defeat Davis once more. In terms of live attendance and pay-per-view sales, the rematch also has a lot of potential to be very appealing. Both fighters have sizable and devoted fan following, and the rivalry between them heightens the drama around the match. The bout might also be used as a springboard to show off the quality of competition in the lightweight class and possibly arrange high-profile fights in the future. The viewpoints of the fighters. In their rematch, Davis will have the opportunity to dispel any last doubts about his superiority in the lightweight class. Though he was reluctant at first, Davis has made recent remarks that suggest he is prepared to take on Cruz once more and win decisively. "I'll battle him once more. I'll stop him the next time," Davis said, expressing his assurance that he will prevail in the rematch with greater conviction. Cruz, though, views the rematch as a chance to exact revenge for his defeat and solidify his place among the best in the division. His recent performances and his vocal desire for another chance to face Davis demonstrate his resolve and thirst for success. Cruz is a tough opponent who is willing to show that he can compete with the greatest due to his unwavering style and tenacity, instruction, and readiness. Both fighters' preparation, both in terms of training and strategy, will be critical in any future rematch. It is probable that Davis will concentrate on improving his technique and making sure his hand ailments don't get in the way of his work. His strength and dexterity will be crucial tools in the fight against Cruz, and he must perform at the highest level to win by a wide margin. Cruz, on the other hand, is going to focus on counterpunching and defense while retaining his aggressive style. In the rematch, his resilience against Davis's powerful blows and his ability to keep moving forward will be crucial. Cruz will also need to take advantage of any gaps and vulnerabilities he saw during their initial meeting. Promoters and negotiations roles. The promoters of each fighter, as well as the networks to which they are connected, will negotiate the rematch. In order to land the bout, Davis, who has a well-established professional relationship with Floyd Mayweather and Premier Boxing Champions, PBC, will need to maneuver through the promotional environment. However, Cruz, who has the support of promoters with close connections to the Mexican boxing world, will also be instrumental in making the rematch happen. Promoters will have to think about the money, which includes the fighters' purses, the location they choose, and possible pay-per-view earnings. Securing advantageous terms for both parties will be essential to making the rematch possible given the high stakes and fan excitement. Expectations and effects of fans. Boxing fans are looking forward to a rematch between Cruz and Davis. Many are excited to see how their second encounter plays out because of the hype that their first battle created. A satisfying conclusion, dramatic interactions, and intense action are what fans will be hoping for. Both boxers' careers may be significantly impacted by a successful rematch. A convincing victory for Davis would solidify his standing as one of the world's best fighters per weight class and further his legacy. Cruz would rise to the top of the sport with a win, and it might even pave the way for further high-profile fights. There are further ramifications for the lightweight category from the rematch. It would draw attention to the breadth of skill and level of competition in the weight class, paving the way for more thrilling contests and rivalries. This is a crucial time for the division because the result could affect the rankings and subsequent title shots. In summary, a highly anticipated boxing event is the possible rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Fans were left wanting more after their first battle, which featured the best of both combatants. Both fighters have stated that they would like to face one another again and are doing well, so the stage is set for an exciting bout. The boxing community will be closely monitoring the progress of negotiations and the start of preparations. Excitement, drama, and a final resolution to one of the most intriguing rivalries in sports are what the rematch promises to bring. One thing is certain, boxing fans everywhere will be watching the rematch to see if Davis can maintain his dominance or if Cruz can make amends.